Welcome everybody to Football Discussion Daily. My name is Joe, here with the co-host. His name
TGO.
CGO or George, and today is February the 13th, 2026, and we are talking about a couple things. Manager of the month for the Premier League is, just as CGO predicted, Michael Carrick. The player of the month is from the best team in England, Igor Thiago. And as on top of that, we had a first game. This is an FA Cup weekend, so several games, a lot more than 10. And today was Chelsea beating Hull City 4-0. So, George, let's start off real quick with the Premier League Manager of the Month. Do you feel like Michael Carrick deserved this? He was brought on in the middle of January. He had 3 straight wins in January. What do you think?
For me, it deserves to be the manager of the month because with that performance is something that is incredible. I told you he played against the top two teams in the Premier League. One at Old Trafford, which was against Manchester City. They won, they dominated that game. It was a game they won convincingly. In fact, they would have even scored more than 2 goals if not for VAR that overruled 3 of their goals. They would have scored more than 2 goals. They defeated City in a very convincing manner. They went to Emirates, a place where no other team has gotten victory before. They got victory there. So, and then they played against Fulham, they won. So, if you look at it, the man came and transformed the team. The team is playing much better than they were playing under Ruben Amorim, if you ask me, because he changed even the tactical formation of the team. Because under Amorim, we had Manchester United playing a kind of a 3-4-3 formation. But
So, George,
under
do you
under
feel like
under
this?
Carrick, it is a 4-3-2-1 formation, which is quite impressive.
Do you feel like that change, the major change in that squad, is tactical, or do you feel like it's more like a lot of what coaches do are just personnel, just like motivating guys who are, you need to
No,
perform well.
no. Apart from motivating players, now for every tactical approach you want to use in the game of football, you also need the right personnel to use them. Now, coaches that are very smart, they normally look at the quality of players they have and see how they can use them to fit the tactical approach, the tactics they want to adopt in the game of football. That tactics that Ruben Amorim was trying and pushing to use, if you look at it critically, Manchester United do not have players that can really fit in, especially when it comes to the wing backs. Because if you are playing a 3-4-3 tactical formation, you need very good wing backs both on the left and on the right. And wing backs must be very good moving forward and coming back. He doesn't have that kind of quality.
Yeah,
Manchester
yeah.
United don't have those kind of players. So the best thing to use is play to the strength of your players. That is it. And that's what Carrick is doing, apart from motivating the players. And
You
if
know,
players are not happy with maybe the kind of tactics you are using, they can't play their out for you. That's the way football works.
one thing I've been really impressed with Carrick, and I'll say this, I do not agree with this. I feel like to be player of the match, needs to play most of the match. He did not coach for half the month, and I credit to him. He's done very well, but he's put his individual skill players in positions to succeed. He's A lot of their goals this month have been great individual goals. I saw the game against was it Arsenal where they had the Dorgu goal, the Cunha goal. They were all fantastic. He again, I feel like he put his skill players in position up high to receive the ball and get a and either utilize that space well, which is something that Amarim was struggling to do. And United has a lot of talent on that team that hasn't had that opportunity as much under Amarim. So I think that Michael Carrick, it's very difficult to come into a league that you've never coached before and continue that success. I don't think he will. I think Manchester United will fall off. But he's had a great start to his season, and I feel like it would be a mistake to sign him permanently. But we'll see. George, next discussion, player of the month. Igor Thiago. We had this discussion. Can you remind the viewers who you said should it be and who I said it should be?
I said it has to be Igor Thiago. That's what I
Yeah.
told you. It has to be Igor Thiago because he scored 5 goals in January, scored an hat-trick against the Everton, scored a brace against Sunderland. That's something no other player did in the Premier League in January. So he was the only player who scored that amount of goals. And for me, he deserves it because it's not easy for you to play for a team like Brentford where you don't have much budget in terms of spending so much money to get high quality players, and then you're able to achieve such kind of a feat. It's something that is highly commendable. And he has made history. He's the first Brazilian who has surpassed scoring 15 goals in a single season in the Premier League. He scored 16
First
in
off,
January.
George, can I just take offense to something you said? You said at a club like Brentford, if you remove the prices on all these players and remove the jerseys on these guys and just look at the football, we are as good as, I mean, we are the sixth or seventh best team in England this year, and he is getting tons of chances. And you saw against Arsenal that I feel like a good striker gets a ton of chances and finishes. And finishing is you finish 1 out of 10, you score a goal a game. Igor Thiago is getting a ton of chances, and he's scoring based on the volume of chances. I feel like a great striker doesn't finish as often as the average fan would expect. But Brentford are not slouches this season. We're great. And I do believe firmly, after watching every single game this year, we are sixth or seventh best team in England, right behind that top five.
The reason why I'm commending Igor Thiago is, remember, he's the first Brentford player to win a Premier League Player of the Month. He's the first. And he has also created more history, now making it 2 Premier League Player of the Month award. That is remarkable. And he's
First
the first
Brazilian
Brazilian to
going
even do
through.
that. So
Yeah,
that tells you a lot about this guy. This guy has
yeah,
really done very well. And for me, I think he deserves to get this award because he has put in a
yeah.
lot of work in achieving this.
Yeah. So he actually did not. So the other couple games in January, he did not play well against Chelsea. I mean, or Chelsea did a great job shutting him down. We talked about that a couple weeks ago because we talked about that game against Nottingham Forest. He had a couple chances and he didn't finish. So you know, um, I feel like I think I mentioned a couple players who I felt had consistent performances, and as a striker, it's a consistent performance. If you play well like he did yesterday and don't score, is that player of the month worthy? I don't know, but he has a great. I'm really glad to have him. I'm sure he's not. I mean, I feel like any great player is hungry and desiring more from his performance, and I feel like any player should have that mentality.
Well, but one thing you must understand is that sometimes strikers do have bad days. Sometimes even top strikers that we know, you see them have some clear chances and they fail to convert. So it happens sometimes. I wouldn't really want to put too much blame on him because whether we like it or not, in the game against Arsenal, he was very much involved, even more than Victor Gyökeres, who is more. There was so much hype around him when he was coming to Arsenal. If you ask me, Go Thiago was more involved in that game than him.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
only
very, no,
thing,
that's George. That's objectively true. The metrics of touches in the box, shots on goal, all of that will favor runs. Every single stat will say Thiago is more involved in that game. I bet George and I took offense to what you were saying about players at Brentford, aren't going to get as many chances. No, he's getting more chances than anybody. Let's move on, George. FA Cup, Hull 0, Chelsea 4. This was the performance that Chelsea, probably the most complete performance of the Chelsea season. They did fantastic. George, I know it was against a championship team, but this team is in the playoff spots in the championship. Good chance
yes.
they're in Premier League next year. What did you take away from this game? Was this the complete performance that the highlights would suggest?
Some people will tell you, no, it's just all City. But sometimes you have to be very careful when you play against championship side, especially a team that is at the top part of the league in the championship. You don't underrate such teams. And even Liam Rosino said it. He said these guys are doing well in the championship. He will never underrate them. And that was a very good mindset I will commend him for because the way they approach the game knowing fully well that these guys, if we don't take this game seriously, they are going to shock us. And
Do you
I
know the
think
last
first
time, George? When is the last time that Hull City beat Chelsea?
Hull City. I can't remember the last time they won Chelsea. Uh,
The last time
yeah,
was the 25th of October, 1988.
that's a
In
long time.
in the second division, I was 2 months old. Uh, since then, they played several times in League Two. They played several times in Premier League. Chelsea's won 5 times in the FA Cup, including today, and once in the League Cup in the last 37 years. And since then, the following players have played for Hull: Harry Maguire, Andy Robertson, Liam Rosney, and Dean Windass, whose son is on Wrexham for anybody who follows. So I just was looking that up yesterday. I thought it was curious.
Well, I think the record I have is showing that they've played Chelsea, I think, 9 times in the FA Cup, and Chelsea had an 100% win against them in the FA Cup.
But not in the
So
football second division in 1988.
no, no, not in the no. So Chelsea has always had a very good result anytime they play Brentford, especially in the FA Cup. I think Chelsea played very well, more especially in the second half. The first half, Chelsea were not, they didn't really assert their authority very well in the first half, even though they had more of the ball possession. Though Chelsea created some chances, there was a chance that came to William, I mean Estavo Williams,
Yes.
which he has already beat the goalkeeper, expecting him to put the ball at the back of the net, but he shot the ball wide, so the ball didn't go into the net.
I thought it
And then
was.
there was an incident with Delap, that there was a ball that hit. I mean, I think he went after the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper tried to kick the ball out, and then he blocked it. The ball hit the bar, and then the lab thought the ball has already crossed the line. And then before he realized that that's not what the referee is thinking, he tried to see if he can shoot, and then he lost that opportunity. But a striker should always try to make sure the ball gets into the net
You know,
first
George,
before he
I
start complaining.
I've never been impressed with the lap on Chelsea. I saw he had 3 assists today. I saw the highlights. They were okay assists. And one performance doesn't. I don't feel like negates a season worth of what I feel like are inferior performances. Do you feel like you have hope that Delap is going to be the striker of the future for Chelsea?
Well, he had 3 assists today, but for me, he still has a lot to do. He still has a lot to do because um, his performance today, I won't tell you I'm that really convinced yet. Maybe if he can replicate this in 2, 3, 4 games consecutively, then you say, okay, it seems this guy is getting better. So, but when you do something like this once after several games, no, it's not something that is very convincing to someone like me who have been watching the game for a very long time. So
Yeah,
Delap
yeah.
still has a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to the way he controls the ball, his hold up play, the way he shoots. He has to improve because I sometimes I ask myself because I took my time to watch the way this guy played at Ipswich and the way he's playing now. It looks like somebody who is playing like somebody who has lost confidence in his ability. I think something
George,
beyond just the game is affecting him.
Chelsea is a really difficult place to succeed because A, they have too many players. B, they buy players before they're ready and they expect them to be ready. So you buy a $60 million player who's 20 years old and he's only 60 million because he's 20. He's not 60 because of his skill level. I don't know how Delap is. Maybe he's 22 or something. But they bought him for his future potential. Their future potential is striker of a Premier League winning side, and he's not there yet. But because of the price tag, fans want him to be there, and so there's this pressure. And if you're not there for a couple games, you get dropped for Pedro or any number of other talented 22-year-olds at Chelsea. And this competition at Chelsea for places isn't healthy. The fact that the ownership views all these players as if they buy him for 50 million and sell him for 100, that's a success for Chelsea ownership. They don't care about trophies. It just leads to a bad culture. They're sacking managers who were absolutely in the race for Champions League spots. It's just a really difficult spot to succeed. I think Delap will not end up being having a long storied career at Chelsea, but there's a lot to see there. Um, so, final thoughts, George. What player stood out for you for Chelsea today?
For me, I think I'll give it to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto did a very great job today. In this game, he played as a number 10, and I can't remember if he has played this kind of position before for Chelsea. I know he has played as a first nine before, but today he played as a number 10 and he did a very beautiful job, even scored an hat-trick. That's quite a very good performance from Pedro Neto. This
That
is his
that one
first
that one
hat-trick.
corner kick goal was lucky, but the other two.
Well, we'll say it's a lucky one, but at least those other two goals were very brilliant goals, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
ask me.
they were.
So he has created a record for himself because this is his first senior professional hat trick. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
hasn't had an hat trick before as a senior professional player. So
He
that's a very good one for him.
I don't know why Chelsea don't start him and Esteval every game. I feel like the drop off between them and the next best winger, Garnacho or Gittins, is huge. I thought he also played great. He's always impressed me when I saw him at Wolves, and now at Chelsea, he's also done great. Let me close out today asking our standard questions. Did Michael Carrick deserve Manager of the Month? Did Igor Thiago deserve Player of the Month? Which player stood out for you on Chelsea? And can Liam Delap become the Chelsea striker of the future? Let us know your thoughts. Appreciate you listening.